On the 29th of April 2025, with 4 games remaining in Serie A, we can say it. The season of Douglas Luiz has been extremely poor. We never saw the player that we were dreaming about. We never saw beautiful performances from the Brazilian player. A total disaster. You know what? There is one thing that I really don't like is when players are speaking publicly, especially answering fans with some theories, some explanations that sometimes are a bit too much, because this is, according to me, equal synonym to a lack of authority management there in La Continassa. But looks like it is the end, that we are arriving to the end, and Douglas Luiz decided to speak. We'll speak about his works, we'll speak about injuries, and also speaking about Mercato, because Juventus is looking for names for the left side of the field. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. We play on Sunday. We already spoke about the top 4 run with the draws of Bologna and Lazio that I recorded the video yesterday evening, so if you didn't yet, please go back and watch it, because I told you that according to me it doesn't change anything, or it doesn't change a lot. So if you want that explanation, go back and watch that video. If you didn't yet, please put a maximum of like, continue to subscribe. We start with the words of Douglas Luiz that he wrote on Instagram actually 5 days ago, but only this morning some people were able to spot it. It's an answer, it's a reply to a comment from a fan where he wrote big words. I didn't come here just to post pictures. No one else has. And I want things to be different. I want things to be different. I am here with a purpose. I listened to my heart when I arrived and decided to sign. In that first chapter, in that first fragment of the answer is really confirming that he's not just there to enjoy spaghetti, beautiful weather, etc., but he really wanted things to go well, and he is admitting that things didn't go well. Now, I want your answers, he says. Why didn't a signing like me play 2 games straight in this jersey? Question mark. You can say whatever you want to the press later, blah blah blah. Oh, Douglas Luiz is out of shape, etc. But am I not fit? Question mark. And that's the big question that he's asking us. Some people are saying that I am not fit. Sometimes they said that I was not fit, but was I really not fit in some moments of the season? Was I not ready to play in some moments? He continues, I played all the preseasons, and in the preseason I played all the games. I just had one of my best seasons of my career, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Injuries got me back, yes. So here is confirming that yes, there were some injuries. But how long did I stay on the bench while I was healthy? A lot, very much. These injuries, and that's probably the most important thing that he's writing, these injuries were not normal. I've never been much of an injured player, but there are some things, so many things, that might have caused this and that I rather not comment on. So here he's telling us clearly, guys, not always I was injured. But the injuries, they were there, yes, but they were not normal. We spoke about it. I didn't understand it. I can't explain it. And even if I have some answers about these injuries, well, I prefer not to comment on it. I made my own idea about it, but I prefer not to comment on it. I will continue to do everything for this club, even if it's hard sometimes. It's not easy, but you can count on me. So you can see clearly that it's a player that gave up in a way. He understands that it's towards the end. He wanted things to go differently. He's there in saying, oh, it's not my fault, guys. I tried. I came with good purpose, with good intentions. Fortunately, it didn't happen. Partially because of the injuries, partially for technical choices where I personally cannot respond for because I was available. I wanted to give something and I didn't receive the chances. Probably pointing fingers towards Thiago Motta, that a lot of time he was on the bench sitting there or just entering 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. He's actually confirming that it has been a disaster season from us, the fans, judging him, but also for himself in saying, I lost a year in my career. Now, the most important thing, if we want to put aside all the negative things, all the blah blah, all the gossip here, is one thing. These injuries were not normal, and this is the most important thing that we need to discuss about it. I don't know what he's referring to. I know I heard some rumors that he wanted to go with some individual training sessions, a bit more detailed training session, doing some things differently because his body needed different things than what the team was doing, and it was not accepted by Juve or by Thiago Motta. These are rumors that I heard. Right or wrong, I don't know. Here, kind of, is nearly confirming it. But the big question here is, we are a mess with our injuries. We are a real mess. And I don't know who is responsible for it, but at a certain moment, we need to fix it. Juventus Football Club, before thinking about management, about the coach, about the next players that needs to leave, but that needs to arrive as well, please do one thing. Please fix it. Fix it, because you can sign the best player of the world. If after 2 weeks he's injured, if he can't perform, we have a huge big problem, because like that you're spending money, like a Douglas Luiz. People got angry, people, they don't understand, because we can understand, we can judge poor performances, we can judge tactical mistakes, we can judge a lot of things, but the origin of injuries we cannot, and that's a huge big problem. On the other side, it's not the only one that has been suffered by injury, a lot of players, and the last one is yesterday, Lloyd Kelly. Lloyd Kelly, medical update from Juve, out of nowhere, just like that. Lloyd Kelly have reported a muscle problem in his right thigh at the end of the last game against Monza. In 10 days' time, he will do new exams to understand how long the recovery time will be. A total disaster, because when you read in 10 days new exams, it means that you miss him at least for 2 weeks. 10 days to rest, in 10 days new exam, you missed him for probably the season of Lloyd Kelly is over. I already tell you, probably the season of Lloyd Kelly is over. Is this something that we could anticipate? If we couldn't anticipate it for Douglas Luiz, because if you go on transfer market, the player was never injured. Well, Lloyd Kelly has always have these kind of small injuries during the season. He started already in season 19-20 with some ligament injury when he was at Bournemouth, but he continued every season. Some games missed here, some games missed there for ligament, as I told you, hamstring, for muscle injury, for ankle injury. Disaster. Even hip injury. And you know what we say, eh? The hips don't lie. Anyway, we put that aside. We go to Corriere dello Sport. I don't know, guys. He's there telling us, not here in the big page with Moratti, the ex-president of Inter, that is saying, you know what was the problem of Inter, why they are losing, that they spoke about it. That they officially spoke about the fact that they wanted to win the triplete, that they wanted to win all the trophies, and that's the moment where they actually collapsed. But I don't know. But we are interested in the Yildiz case. 2 days of ban are coming, according to Corriere dello Sport. Yesterday we saw it on Instagram, words from Kenan Yildiz, where he said really that he was deeply sorry. He said sorry that it was not in his intention. He said sorry to everyone, to the club, to the players, to everyone, to the fans. He said sorry to everyone. It was really sincere, beautiful words. On the other side, looks like it was not enough for Corriere dello Sport to forgive him. I don't know what Yildiz did to Zazzaroni, that is the director of Corriere dello Sport, that every time that he's speaking about Kenan Yildiz, he's destroying him. He's really destroying him, because today again, the management, and that's what Corriere dello Sport is writing, the management is disappointed from the trequartista, from the number 10 of Juve that will miss the next games, and that are fundamental for the 4th spot against Bologna and Lazio. Without Champions League, the Turkish player is risking to be put under discussion. I don't know, guys. You cannot tell me one day he's on the market, one day he's not on the market, one day you want to sell him, one day you want to keep it, one day, even if we don't qualify to Champions League, well, you want to keep him, and then today, because of that red card, you want to sell him. I don't know. I really don't know what he did. I just tell you one thing. Before thinking even to put Kenan Yildiz on the market, look at the stats. Because they will tell me, but we were expecting much more of Kenan. Look at the stats. When he played with Juve, when he started with Juve, average points of 1.97. Is it enough? No. Juventus needs to go over the 2 points every time, but 1.97 in 36 games. When he entered from the bench, it happened 10 times this season. An average of 1 point. It's half of what we did with him on the field. You know how many points we had when he didn't play? It was a single game against Fiorentina, 0 points. So we go from 2 points with him starting the games, average per game, 1 point when he enters, and 0 point when he didn't play at all. Guys, it doesn't bring a lot of hope for the games against Bologna and Lazio, where we know already that he will not play. But you think about it. If Zazzaroni is right, which I don't believe at the moment, but if Zaroni is right to think about that, saying that Juventus needs to think about it, or maybe to sell him if we don't qualify to Champions League. Juve, please think about it, because without Kenan, it's really much more harder. Tuttosport is telling us that Juve, 4th spot, a lot of problems, but 0 excuses. This is true. Yesterday I recorded the video. Yes, it's true that Kenan will not be there. Yes, it's true that Kelly will not be there. You should be happy. A lot of people should be happy now that Kelly is not there because you didn't like him. You said that we couldn't defend with Kenan, with Lloyd Kelly. So now you're happy he's not there anymore. And probably you will miss the remaining part of the season. So no excuses. I said it's not because of Kenan if we don't win against Bologna, if we don't win against Lazio. We are 11 against 11. So let's go and do it. But yesterday I spoke about it on the video. How can Juventus play now without Kenan Yildiz, without Lloyd Kelly? Well, there are some theories to go back to a 4-man defense. That's a theory, with Savona on the right, with Cambiaso on the left, with Vega and Kalulu in the middle. Or we keep the formation that we have now, that 3-4-2-1, will come back on the lineups in a few days when we have more information about how we could possibly play. But Di Gregorio into the goal, Savona, that could be in that role of the 3-man defense next to Vega in the middle and Kalulu on the left. Savona, you will tell me, Beppe, how he always played in a 4-man defense. Well, when he was playing with the next gen, this was his role. So it's a role that he already can do. Then can he do it under Tudor? Can he do it with Vega and Kalulu next to him? That's a question mark. Can he do it suffering from a pubalgia? I don't know if it's going better or not, but the role, he can do it. We don't change the midfield with McKennie, Locatelli, Thuram and Cambiaso, and of course, I'm a bit afraid here about the physical conditions of McKennie, about Cambiaso. We'll come back on Cambiaso in a second. Conceição and Nico Gonzalez behind Kolo. Conceição was the first name I thought when Yildiz was out of the game. Then, of course, you always have a Bangula. You have a Bangula that is on the bench, a player that in the last game against Bologna, when we were wearing that shirt, he entered from the bench at the 79th minute, if I'm not wrong. He didn't need a lot because at the 92nd minute, a fantastic, beautiful goal. Alla Del Piero, we can say, at the 92nd minute against Bologna, brought us the 2-2. What a beautiful goal from Bangula. Maybe he can do it again. Maybe he can replicate it again. There will be no Vlahovic, probably, to give him that assist, because we are still not sure if he will participate to the game or not. But one player is there, and this time to score after scoring against Monza. It is Randall Colomoni, where Juventus is really thinking, what should we do with him? Signing him permanently immediately? No, that's not what Juventus wants to do. But discussing, looking for another loan with Paris Saint-Germain. If the French team is available for it, Juventus could go for it. Then, with of course negotiating for an option or an obligation to buy at 50 million euro. On the meanwhile, pay attention, because there are 2 clubs from Premier League that are also following the Frenchman, because we know it, if he's doing well, it's good for him, it's good for you, but on the other side, he will be more and more and more attractive on the market. So pay attention, but Randall Colomoni could possibly be there next season at Juve. Next season at Juve. Will Cambiaso be there? Big question mark. It's really funny because when preparing that video, I was looking at what happened in the last game against Bologna, and suddenly I remembered that Andrea Cambiaso at the 14th minute was subbed out of that game. He actually got injured at the 5th minute at his ankle. You remember that ball that is going there? And we never saw Andrea Cambiaso anymore. So we enjoyed Cambiaso August, September, November, October, November, December, not even December, because on the 7th of December, that's when we played that game, out of the game, out of Juve, because we didn't see him anymore. Then the voices came from Manchester City, etc., etc. Will that be the game that will give us back Andrea Cambiaso? Big question mark. If not, well, Juventus is already looking for other players on the left. We already spoke about a few players. We spoke about Maxime de Kuyper, that is my favorite player from Club Brugge. We spoke not that much, honestly, but there are some rumors about Fran Garcia from Real Madrid. You know it. Ancelotti will leave at the end of this season. He will not even be there for the Club World Cup. Real Madrid, that could potentially be an opponent of Juve in the second round. And maybe there will be some changement with Los Blancos. Miguel Gutierrez, we already spoke about him from Girona, and we spoke also about Nuno Tavares from Lazio. It's a player that for 4 million will be a Lazio player. Then, of course, if you go with big money, you can have that player. But there is a new name that I wanted to mention. It's the name of Diego Morera. It's a player that is born in Belgium, in Liège, double citizenship, Belgium and Portuguese. He plays with the Portuguese national team youth player that is playing now at Strasbourg. The value is 20 million euro. Juventus is observing that player. They didn't really go into detail with all the negotiation. It's not that they go and boom, they want the player immediately, but are informing themselves. They are trying to build the contact between the entourage, between the clubs, between the player, potentially because he's a player that did extremely well this season with Strasbourg, 29 games played in Ligue 1, 2 goals, 7 assists. He's playing on the left side of the field. He has at the moment a value on transfer market of 10 million euro for the left foot player from 179. So it's not the tallest player, but young player, 20 years old, that already did Standard with the youth, then Benfica youth. He was signed by Chelsea. You know, Chelsea is on all these young promising players before being loaned out to Lyon, and then at the end sold to Strasbourg for 8.5 million euro. After that beautiful season, I can already guarantee you that the price will be around the 20 million euro for a player. If you are really fast, if you can go for a player like that, why not? Is he a starter from Juve? I didn't watch enough games of Diego Morera, but it looks like it's a really beautiful player that a lot of people are speaking well about it. 20 years old, fresh legs, can run, can play in the back, in the middle, and even up front. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no. So the Cuyper or Morera are two players that I really like. Even if the other names I like as well. And the one of Gutierrez, I don't know. Too many names, but what does that mean? That if Cambiaso is not able to come back as soon as possible, probably he will not be there to watch these players doing maybe, hopefully, better than what he's doing at the moment. Juventini, I don't know if it was a good video or not. If you enjoyed it, put a maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.